All praises to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Kakadash. Yahweh be in the name of the Heavenly Father. Yahweh Shai be in the name of His only begotten Son, who they ignorantly call Jesus Christ. Now these wacky Christians, man, is so confused and they do not know the scriptures, because it's clear that the Lord started slavery, condoned slavery, and slavery was a punishment of the Lord when you deal with the scriptures, because this is what the scriptures is all about. How you get a book that's all about slavery and a so-called believer in the book and a preacher of the book, they tell you that God ain't had nothing to do with it. This is something that a man created. It's the men in a fallen state, they create this slavery situation, which is a bold-faced lie. Look at Leviticus 25. The Lord clearly tells you what the situation is. It says, I'm going to start at 42 to get some of the context. It says, for they are my servants, which I brought forth out of the land of Egypt. They shall not be sold as bondmen. Okay? So he was saying you can't sell these Israelites as bondmen. 43, thou shalt not rule over them with rigor, but shall fear your God. Both your bondman and your bondwoman, meaning bondmaid, your slave man and slave woman that's in slavery, which you shall have, shall be of the heathen that are round about you. Of them shall you buy, see, bondmen and bondmaids. See, you gonna buy these people on a freaking auction block. See, they gonna be your possession. Look at 45. It said, moreover, the children of the stranger that do sojourn among you, of them shall ye buy, and of their families that are with you, which they beget in your land, and they shall be your possession. See, he clearly said that these people gonna be the possession of the Israelites. 46, and ye shall take them as an inheritance for your children after you, to inherit them for a possession. They shall be your bondman or slave forever. What is these people not understanding? Because first of all, it's a clear situation that if you're a king, you're gonna rule over people. See, you're not just gonna be a king and you're not ruling over nobody. You're not the king over nobody, telling them what to do. Because this is what the Israelites was begging for. They was begging for a king to rule over them, to be the leader. You see, and they trying to say that people gonna have a rulership and they ain't gonna be ruling over nobody, having people serve certain purposes. See, now let's go ahead and get the gospel, but we're gonna get straight to the point. This is the good news of the Israelites. I'm going to start with verse 1 and jump down. It says, the Spirit of the Lord is upon me, because the Lord have anointed me to preach the good tidings to the meek. He have set me to bind up the brokenhearted, to proclaim liberty or freedom to the captives or slaves, and the opening of the prison to them that are bound. Okay, look at verse 5. It says, and strangers shall stand and feed your flocks, and the sons of aliens shall be your plowmen and your vine dressers. See, these people have purposes. You're going to have people with a purpose of feeding flocks, or being employed to feed flocks. See, the king not going to be out there feeding the freaking flocks. The king ain't going to be out there plowing, being a plowman and a vine dresser. That's not going to happen to no king, or it's not going to happen to the Israelites. You see it say, and strangers shall stand and feed your flocks. See, those heathen that he said that's gonna be slaves forever. This is who he reiterated in the gospel. This is the grand finale. What he was telling them in Leviticus was gonna be what's gonna happen in the grand scheme of things. You go to 60 and 10. It says, "And the sons of strangers shall build your walls." See, the walls of your kingdom, because a building, when you build a kingdom, those buildings is gonna have walls. When you have many mansions, like Yahweh told the apostles, those mansions is gonna have walls, and the sons of strangers is gonna build those walls. See, it's not gonna be the king and they're building his own wall. The king and his children gonna be building walls. No, it's gonna be the heathen. When you go up or you go down, Salakia, to verse 4, let you know why these um people, these heathen, is gonna be building the kingdom of the Israelites. Verse 14, it say, "The sons also of them that afflicted you shall come bending unto you, and all they that despise you shall bow themselves down at the soles of your feet, and they shall call you the city of the Lord, the Zion," see, the Israelites, "of the Holy One of Israel." So it's clear that he's talking to the Israelites, telling them that the sons of strangers that afflicted them, that had them in slavery, they gonna be the ones to build the kingdom of the Israelites. You see, build the kingdom with it. They gonna be building the walls. Now what's another one? Let's see here. Let's see. Get some more on the heathen. 32. Now the Israelites went into slavery in multiple captivity. They went into the Egyptian. It was in the Egyptian captivity. They was in the Assyrian. They was in the Babylonian. They was in the Greek. The Persian. They was in the Greek, and then the Roman. Not here in America. So it says in verse 7, 30 and 7. It says, "And the Lord your God will put all these curses upon your enemies and on them that hate thee and which persecute thee." Okay, and what was these curses? 28. And we're going to get 45 to get the whole purpose of this curse. 48, and which goes down into 49. It says, "Therefore shall you serve your enemies, which the Lord shall sin against you in hunger and thirst and nakedness and want of all things." So this is just explaining what this man talking about. A man created this. A man didn't create this. See, this is not the fallen state of man who done invented a nation coming to put somebody in submission. See, a nation of because see, if you have a war with a nation, that's your enemy. They coming to kick your behind. See, it's gonna be weapons against weapons, soldiers against soldiers, warriors against warriors. And so once the war is over, somebody gonna get taken captive, and they're gonna utilize those people. And so it says that they ain't gonna be in one of all things. Once they take those people captive, that was their enemy, they gonna put they behind the word. It said, "He shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee." So that yoke of iron was gonna keep you from bucking the system and saying, "Okay, we're gonna run away and do what we want to do," even though these people done brought us to their land. See, and we gotta where is it where it talks about the going to somebody else's land? There it is. It's verse 32. It says, "The son and your daughter shall be given to another people." Now what is that? "And your eyes shall look filled with longing for them all the day long, and there shall be no might in your hand. The fruit of your land and all your labors shall a nation which you knoweth not eat up." So they're gonna be in somebody else in any kind of land, and you ain't gonna be able to get no fruit from the land, and in that, whatever your labor is in that land, it's gonna go to that nation. And this is what happened to the Israelites, and it was gonna happen to the heathens, and the Lord ordained the situation. Let me get straight to the point. In Isaiah 14, it say, "For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob and yet choose Israel." Why he gonna have mercy on Jacob? I'm gonna jump down to verse 18 and say, "All the kings of the nations, even all of them, lie in glory, every one in his own house." So these people lying in glory. All the nations of the kings is lying in glory. So this is why he gonna have mercy on the Israelites. It says, and to set them in their own land. So they're not gonna be in the land of these kings anymore. So they're gonna go to their own land, because they will scatter into other lands. It says, and strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. It says, and the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids. See, you gonna be a freaking handmaid in these people's land. It says, and they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and shall rule over their oppressors. So the heathen was going to take the Israelites in captivity. See, it was going to be serving their enemies for a want of all things. That's why you got all the kings of the earth, the heathens, they ruling in their own kingdom. See, the Israelites got kicked out of their land, and they going to be in other people's land. Let's go get that in Luke. Luke 21 and 24. This Yahushua, who they can call Jesus Christ, this is what he said. He said, and they shall fall by the edge of the sword, and shall be led away captives or slaves into all nations. So they're going to be in all them nations where the kings is ruling in glory in their own land. See, it say, and Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles. So the homeland of the Israelites is going to be trodden down by other people, not the Israelites. Some other people gonna come up in there. The heathen is gonna come up in there until the time of the heathen be fulfilled, until their time is up. And he tell you when their time is gonna be up is when he come on the cloud with power and great glory. So this is the whole situation is about slavery. See, this is the so-called New Testament. Well, Luke was one of the last writers writing Acts after all the apostles done did their thing. He done wrote Acts of what they all did. So he ain't no somebody that was didn't know what happened afterwards, that they went to go try to deal with some other people. The issue still was slavery. See, slavery was a major situation that the Israelites gonna be dealing with till the time of the Gentiles is up, till they time to rule. See, because the Israelites ain't gonna be no servant to these people no more, and they not gonna be living in glory in their own land. Um, when the Israelites get this rulership. Look at Revelation 2 and 26. It says, he that overcometh and keepeth my works to the end, to him will I give power over the nation. See, the Israelites is going to get power over these heathen. And he shall rule them with a rod of iron, as the vessels of a potter shall they be broken into shivers, even as I received of my father. So these people is going to be um broken into shivers when the Israelites start to rule with a rod of iron, and they're gonna make these people slaves. And God is telling them this is a benefit, this is a reward. See, he said, he that overcometh, I'm gonna give them a reward. They're gonna be having power over other people. They're gonna have power over people, and they're gonna be able to punish these people. These people gonna be their slaves. They're gonna have people in slavery. See, what is a freaking Christian running his mouth talking about? Then when you go into King David's some of his last words, or the last part of the Psalms, he was breaking down the song that the Israelites is gonna be singing. Look at it, verse 1. It say, praise the Lord, sing unto the Lord a new song. So they're gonna be singing a new song because they're gonna be in slavery. But the new song is this. It says, verse 5, let the saints be joyful in glory. Let them sing aloud upon their beds. See, they gonna be singing aloud upon their beds because they gonna be coming out of slavery. See, and they gonna be having power. See, when they have power, see, that's when they gonna be getting the singing. Verse 60 said, let the high praises of God be in their mouth and a two-edged sword in their hand. See, when they get that power, they gonna have that sword in their hand. Even spiritually, they get that sword in their hand. When they get that spiritual power, through the Holy Spirit that's coming upon them to prophesy. But it says, verse 7, to execute vengeance upon the heathen. What vengeance? Vengeance for slavery. See, vengeance for working at these people's jobs from sun up to sundown and living in their land being told lies and have never been able to prosper because you got the curses on you because you is an Israelite. It says to execute vengeance upon the heathen and punishment upon the people, to bind their kings with chains. Their kings is going into chains, going into slavery. See, whoever putting them into slavery, they gonna be putting them in chains. They gonna be the slave masters. And the nobles with fetters of iron, to execute upon them the judgment written. See, it ain't just written there, it's written in Isaiah 24. He says in verse 21, he said, and in that day it shall come to pass that the Lord shall punish the hosts of the high ones that are on high, and the kings of the earth upon the earth. See, the kings of the earth got the Israelites in slavery, man. And with their UN and their NATO, see, they united against the Israelites. See, that's what Psalm 83 was about. These heathens is united against the Israelites. And what's going to happen to them? Verse 22, and they shall be gathered together as prisoners are gathered into a pit, and they shall be shut up in the prison, and after many days be visited. See, just like we was being visited on the plantation and in that slave ship, when they had our behind a chain, see, this is what we're going to do to these heathen. And the Lord ordained it. This is what the Bible is about. See, this is not a creation of man because they're in some fallen state. That's a lie coming from these wicked men that the devil done paid off. The so-called white men done paid them off to tell a bold-faced lie. And I just want to bring out them verses. Let me get the main one in Revelation 13 and 10, because this Revelation 13 is talking about America, one of the main places of slavery is operating in. Revelation 13 and 10, it says, he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. See, the people that put somebody in slavery, them gonna be the one that's going into slavery. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. See, the faith of the saints is that the Lord put somebody into slavery and he gonna let them people get payback. See, the descendants of slaves, they gonna get payback, and because they are not in rulership, they are peasants and slaves. See, they was spiritually in a spiritual prison. That's what Second Peter was talking about. The angels was fallen and in prison. So they was in a spiritual prison where they was gonna have to be a slave. Because this was also a sign in Deuteronomy 28:46. This was gonna be a sign, so he wasn't gonna let the curses come off of these people. They was gonna stay on these people. It says, and they, talking about the curses, shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon your seed forever. See, they was gonna be a sign to let the Israelites know who they are, and other people know who the Israelites are. So he wasn't gonna take them off of them before Yahweh came back. He was gonna keep the curses on them until the elect is sealed, and he delivered the elect. You see, and then they're gonna get spiritual power in the blink of an eye, and be like God and like the angel of the Lord. So this is how, this is the faith of the saints, that they understand slavery. They know who put somebody into slavery, and they know who going into slavery next. And this is what they hoping and waiting for. This is the patience and the faith of the saints. See, not that man created it and we can be their friend And this is just something a bunch of a small selection of men came up with. They ain't had nothing to do with God. A bold-faced lie. But I'm gonna leave it there. All praise to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh Shah, Hashem, and Kakadash. Double honors to the elders pushing the truth. Peace to the elect worldwide. Our kingdom is at hand. Shalom.